So I still stand by all the positive things that I said about Fuentes in my previous videos, but hearing him say that Epstein wasn't a pedophile, this was such a weird take that I couldn't not make this video disagreeing with him.
Hey, you're a pedo protector. He goes, fuck you. You. And then he gives him the middle finger. It's like, okay, that's based. We have to admit, we don't have to love it. We don't have to love everything that's going on. We don't have to put the MAGA hat back on, but it's like, okay, that's kind of awesome. And honestly, the pedo protector thing is really dumb. Here's the problem with Epstein. The problem with Epstein is that he is a spy. That's the problem. This whole pedo thing, it's like, is it really pedophilia? I don't want to be the one that has to say it, but I guess I'm being forced to say it. It's not really pedophilia, okay? They weren't trafficking 5-year-olds. It was like they were technically not legal. Big difference, in my opinion. I know that's a controversial take, but that's not really the issue there, okay? The issue is not that they were barely legal teens, which is what it is. It's horrendous. It's awful. It's pedophilia. Okay, relax. No, the issue is that Epstein is a Jewish spy, probably working with Israel.
So, unsurprisingly, a lot of people didn't really agree with the take that it's not really pedophilia. I saw some people edit this clip with AI and they edited the Nick's face to look like Rabbi Shmuley. And if you look in the replies, all of them are negative. All of them are disagreeing with Nick's take. And even during this same stream at the end when Nick was reading donations, one of his viewers, one of his donators disagreed with him, and his response really did not make the situation any better.
Bro, think he Wendell.
Huncho Greasy sent $20. How is human trafficking underage girls not part of the problem and completely immoral? Yes, Epstein being Mossad is also a big issue, but it's not the only issue. Lost me here.
Good, bye. How is that not the issue? She was 17 years old. Shut up, pussy. Fuck you. Oh, I love that. You lost me here. Bye. Good riddance. Dude, I love that. Knew that was coming and clocked it. Knew that was coming. How is human trafficking an underage girl not part of the... Who gives a fuck, dude? What are they, 17? Okay. Grow up. She was 17, Your Honor. You disgusting animal. Grow up. Seriously.
Fog Homicide sent $50. I do executive protection for...
I honestly don't know why he kept saying that the victims were 17. We know that some of Epstein's victims were significantly younger than 17. And look, while I completely agree with the notion that, yeah, you are not a pedophile for being attracted to a 17-year-old, but when we are talking about 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds, yeah, you are a pedophile. And look, don't try to give me this retarded argument that, oh, well, the word pedophile actually means that it's someone that is attracted to prepubescent children. The reason why that argument is absolutely retarded is because children don't stop being children when they start puberty. That's not how it works. If a child starts puberty and you are attracted to them, yeah, you are still a pedophile. That doesn't make you not a pedophile. That's a very stupid argument. It's like, this semantics argument is just as dumb as when the trans people say that, oh, well, technically, the word woman only refers to someone's gender, so yes, a trans woman is a woman. I mean, technically, yes, that is technically correct, but in the real world, that's not how it works. These semantics arguments don't work in the real world. And as I said, I don't think you're a pedophile for being attracted to a 17-year-old, but when we are talking about trafficking, sex trafficking 17-year-olds on a private island for the richest, most powerful men to do who knows what to them, yeah, it was kinda weird to hear Fuentes say, who cares?
Knew that was coming. How is human trafficking an underage girl not part of the... Who gives a fuck, dude? What are they, 17? Okay. Grow up.
Yeah, I don't know, that is kind of a strange thing for him to say. So, because of all the backlash that he was receiving, Fuentes responded by saying that he was taken out of context and that everyone was just too stupid to understand what he was saying.
I'm glad to hear that.
Raper Groy percent $20. Niggas coming at you for the Epstein pedophile tickle mouth. German age of consent is 14. Most of Europe is 16. Are they all pedophiles too?
So, while it is true that in Germany the age of consent is 14, there are limitations. You can't be a 30-year-old man, for example, trying to 14-year-olds. That's not illegal.
Are they all pedophiles too? We've been so feminized we can even admit
So
17-year-olds are hot anymore, and even if Trump was cracking
So
16-year-olds, I
true.
would just give him dap and be like, nice, that's awesome.
So yeah, honestly, first of all, everybody totally took that out of context. No charity either. I never get the benefit of the doubt. You take a 20-second clip, I say something you don't like, and people go, what the fuck, he took the pay. Fuck you. You know what I have to say? Like my president. You're fired. Like, I feel like this all the time. It's like we're always walking around on eggshells not to offend the dumbest idiots on the platform. But what I said, and the point that I'm making about Epstein, people are getting caught up in the sensationalism of pedophile. And I said this last year when the story broke. I said the exact same thing. I said, yes, they are sex crimes. Obviously, it is human trafficking. Obviously, according to the law, it is statutory rape. But it is in the service of a blackmail ring for intelligence. It is important not to lose sight of that. And this is a category error. People say you're a pedo protector. But Trump is not protecting pedophiles because they're pedophiles. He's protecting sex criminals because they are a part of a subversive intelligence network. That's the point. And I said that in July, and I said that when there was more urgency for the files to be released in the fall. I said, let's not get too hung up on the sensational details of the actual sex crime, because this is not just about somebody was trafficking girls somewhere. That's not the story. The story is someone was trafficking girls to acquire blackmail to sell to. That is the point, and that is what I said last night.
Yeah, so everyone understood that. No one has a problem with Nick Fuentes saying that the problem with Epstein isn't just that he's a pedophile and that he was trafficking these girls. The problem is the reason why he was doing it, and also his ties to a certain foreign country that shall remain unnamed. Everyone understood this take. No one has a problem with this take. The reason people are mad is because he also said that it's not really pedophilia.
Is it really pedophilia? I don't want to be the one that has to say it, but I guess I'm being forced to say it. It's not really pedophilia, okay?
That's what everyone has a problem with. And look, I saw a lot of people say that, oh well, Nick switched up, or he is getting blackmailed, or he got paid. That's not what's happening. This is not a new take from Fuentes. Fuentes has had this opinion for quite some time, and I have been aware of it, and I knew that one day I was gonna make this video talking about it.
I'm a Christian. I'm a sincere Chad. I think sex is gay. I think the age of consent should be lower. I don't even really believe in the concept. You want to know why? Because marriage is consent. You want to know what's wrong with sex? Being married means you consent to sex all the time. There's no such thing as marital rape, because when you marry a person, you have a marital obligation to give your spouse sex whenever they want it. It's literally Catholic doctrine. So, the only moral way to have sex is within marriage. The only way to get married is to consent to sex on demand. And both partners agree to that. That's their obligation. It's a mortal sin to deny it. So that's how's that for consent theory? That's my age of consent. It's not age of consent, it's age of marriage. Age of marriage. People talk about age of consent. Age of consent. What is this? What is this? Christians have no use for such things. Christians have no use for such a concept. You get married. A Christian doesn't have sex with anybody. A Christian has sex with their spouse within marriage. And nobody's getting married at a prepubescent age. People get married when they're at a reproductive age, when they're adolescents.
So Googling, because sorry, I'm not really an expert, I'm not knowledgeable on when exactly a child becomes able to reproduce. Google says that girls start being able to reproduce somewhere between the ages of 8 and 13. And I do know that if someone asked Fuentes for when exactly he thinks that the age of consent, or I guess age of marriage, should be set to, he is gonna say 16. I am aware of that. But I do find it interesting that during this show, in this clip, when he was by himself, when no one was questioning him, he decided to say at a reproductive age instead of just saying 16. Because there is a very significant difference between those two answers. So yeah, when you combine his take on Epstein not really being a pedophile and his take on age of marriage or age of reproduction, yeah, to me it does kind of sound like Fuentes has some views on pedophilia that differ from most people's. And it does sound to me like he thinks that it's not inherently morally wrong as long as you are married to that child. And look, I am aware that for most of human history, people used to think exactly the way that Fuentes thinks. It used to be somewhat normal for a man to marry a girl that was under the age of 16. I am aware of that. And you know, I'm also aware that I'm gonna get called a feminist for saying this, but I actually think that it was a good idea for society to set the age of consent to be at least 16. I think that was a good idea.